Yo, so yeah, it was. You guys said that the year so far has been good, got bad midway, and then became good again. See, me personally, I thought this year in WWE was pretty good, but like you said, midway through the year, like this summer, a good majority of the winter. I mean, not the winter, but the fall. It's been pretty butt. It's been pretty butt. And now with the winter, so far everything is okay. But apparently, some people have some ideas. So that's why we're going to react to this video by Plana. Apparently, there's only one way for the WWE to be saved.
It's time for some more WWE hot takes, and let's talk about the OTC. He needs to become a world champion sooner than later. Roman even said this on the last episode of Monday Night Raw.
That title would look so much better on my shoulder.
It wasn't specified who he was talking about in that promo. The WWE left it open for us to discuss that topic, and my hot take is that Roman should defeat both CM Punk and Cody Rhodes in a triple threat match to become the double champ again. Let's run it back. We know that the tribal chief...
I'm already not liking this idea. We need to create separate storylines. We've already been through that bloodline crap again. Give us a break for anybody to become a double champ in anything WWE related. We need two separate storylines to carry both shows in their respective rights. It doesn't make sense for Roman to dethrone both of the champions.
Is more than capable of holding that top spot, and it's been about 2 years without him holding a WWE championship. It's been far too long. That triple threat match would sell a ton of tickets. It would be considered one of the biggest WrestleMania matches of all time. Will it happen? Definitely not, but it's fun to think about. However, we do need to get serious though, and the WWE was clearly planning a Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins feud for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. I was so excited to see those two finally wrestle at the grandest stage of them all in a singles match. We've seen them in the ring countless times. It's always been magic. WrestleMania 42 was the time to finally book it, but because of Seth Rollins and that shoulder injury, the WWE must pivot. After that segment on Raw, it is evident that Roman Reigns will compete against Cody Rhodes or CM Punk for their belts, and that is the big question. Who is it going to be? Who should it be? And which match would probably sell more tickets? And the only right answer is Cody Rhodes. We already saw them wrestle a couple of times, and every single time there is a big fight feel to that match that not many matches can have in WWE, and it's only right if we see the trilogy. The story must come to an end. It also makes more sense if Roman goes after the belt that Cody took from him. As for the match, WWE could simply have Roman Reigns defeat him and reclaim his spot on the top of the WWE
See,
mountain.
the thing about that miracle, we'll never know.
Hit us with the biggest swerve ever, what people have wanted to see for a long time now, and that's Cody turning heel. He becomes Homelander, and then the WWE would have their hottest storyline for the next year. As for CM Punk, he could go on to feud with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. The last time they fought, it was an amazing match, and I'm not sure how great it would be in 2026, but I do know that they are both huge draws that could sell tickets, and I know that's the most important thing to the WWE right now. I'm sure.
Did he just suggest Brock Lesnar and CM Punk to have a match? Are you crazy? I'm not gonna lie, these takes are really hot. I'm gonna let you have it, but these takes are really, really hot.
WWE's heading into that direction,
and not in a good way.
Sort of hinted at these box office matches with their promotional work for WrestleMania. So yes, I expect Roman to win the Royal Rumble, and then I also expect Brock Lesnar to destroy everyone in the Elimination Chamber match. In other news, Seth and Becky were on a podcast, and Lynch said this about an employee within the WWE.
Like there was, I'm not gonna name names, but there was a guy on the main roster who was like, be careful because one, he'll try to sleep with you. If he sleeps with you, then he'll blacklist you.
Oh, Cody Rhodes. I knew it. He slept with, go ahead.
And if he tries to sleep with you and you don't sleep with him, he'll also blacklist you. So there was this like line that you had to walk
Do I know
this
him?
tightrope. You know him, definitely. But anyway, at one point,
Hey guys, hit it up in the comments.
It's incredibly worrying to know that this person might still be on the roster. There is no space in that locker room for someone like that.
Goodness,
I hope
bro.
that WWE fired that person, and if they did not, they should seriously reach out to Becky Lynch, investigate that allegation, and fire the person if others experience the same situation. You always got to protect the employees, and more specifically, the women in that locker room. And in that same podcast, Seth Rollins said a couple of hot takes that we need to talk about. The first one is about the fact that he does not like the WWE Unreal documentary. This is what he said.
Yeah, but I hate it.
Right?
I do hate it. I don't hate all of it. I don't hate all of it. Yeah, I mean, look, there's some parts of it that I think are fascinating and interesting, but I go like, there's some things that in our business, you know, everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows that it's predetermined and planned, but the gray area, that one little question, right? That like, maybe they really don't like each other.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's something there. Maybe what could happen, that unpredictability that it creates. That's the magic. That's where the magic happens in our business, is that just little seed of doubt. And when you start to just chip away at that, it becomes a bit tricky.
I've got to say that I completely
Now, with this being said, I can see that. I can most definitely see where a situation like that, peeling back that behind the scenes curtain after the fact, can make somebody look at a current event and being like, okay, this is cool, but we already know that there's stuff behind the scenes involved. So over time, you can see that effect kind of washing over somebody's like current day like viewing experience. But I do like the idea of Unreal. Now, whether or not that type of documentary is going to have that same effect that Seth is talking about, we just gonna have to do that over time. But it's very logical to understand why Seth feels that way.
completely agree with Seth Rollins on this take. I made a video about this months ago when the documentary was first released. I thought it was a bad idea, and I still don't like it at all. He is 100% spot on about keeping the magic alive. Before Unreal, people weren't sure if Punk and Rollins actually hated each other or if they were friends, but after watching that, you clearly knew that they were friends. It's stuff like that, the little things that really kill the product for absolutely no reason. I don't think there's much of a benefit. I think they could have done the backstage footage without telling us to our faces that there are writers and everything is completely scripted.
Yeah.
I saw CM Punk also said the same thing about not liking the show, and I think more wrestlers should speak out against the show. They should cancel it, honestly. I think it's the right thing to do for the business. While I agree with this first take from that podcast, I gotta completely disagree with this other take. This is what he said about fans and their opinions on wrestling.
But the fact that everybody feels like they need to have a fucking opinion about everything, you know?
Yeah.
That's the thing that I go, well, what are we doing here? No one needs, you don't need to have an opinion. You can just say nothing. You can just say nothing. Or you can like talk to your friend about how much you hated the latest Marvel movie. You don't need to put that crap on social media. You don't need to. Nobody gives a shit about you and your opinion, you know?
And it's so interesting to see opinions on pro wrestling when so much of it is out of their control.
Yeah.
Does that mean like you're like, so wait, why do you have an opinion?
Well, they want to have a control though. You know what I mean? They think they might. If
Yeah.
they can get and look, to their defense, these opinion junkies, we've given them a little bit of the liberty of saying, if you have a strong enough opinion and it takes hold enough, we will change course. You know? And that happens from time to time. And so
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about our business, partially, is that you can pivot when things are wrong. You know, a good example of this is, I would say there's a couple of them. One was the recent R-Truth situation, where R-Truth's contract didn't get negotiated, and it got leaked online that he had been released, and you know, the fans went, what the? We love R-Truth. What are we doing here? We need R-Truth. Everybody needs an R-Truth. And it got to the point where, you know, the executives in WWE said, you know what? They're right. We do need R-Truth. We were wrong.
I can't agree with Seth Rollins because he's basically coming after me and every other content creator, and I don't think that's a fair claim to make. People are allowed to have their opinions, and they should share it if they want to. I've been watching wrestling for 2 decades now. There's a great difference in the product. I don't think it's the worst product ever, but it's not as great as it once was. Something changed, and it is important for people to call it out. It's better to get some criticism and then improve the quality than for people to not say anything and then you just have no viewers at the end of the day. I think
Now, for me personally, I can one thing about me, I'm gonna have an opinion. And you're free to have one. I feel like the business needs to focus on the overwhelming majority when it comes to like this year not hitting out. I can't read. Why can I not read? This year not hitting like last year. I can definitely agree with that. And I feel like a lot of it, as well as other successful years, has been them being able to listen to the overwhelming majority of fans saying like, hey, we like this person, or hey, we like this. We're invested into this storyline, and going with it, or hearing saying like, oh, we don't like this person. We don't like the fact that this person isn't being pushed, or X, Y, and Z. And these overwhelming storylines, these are what the creators bite on. Now that I can understand, but I feel like what Seth Rollins is sitting here saying is for like every single person's opinion to be considered in X, Y, and Z, is for it to be super meticulous and like everybody having their own opinion and thinking that their one little opinion matters more than than the opinion of 10 other people, and then those 10 meaning more than 1,000, and so on and so forth. That's where it gets wicked. That's where it gets bad, because I don't understand why you as a viewer, right? You have one opinion. And unless the entire universe is saying it, you should just be okay with your one opinion. Treat it as a what if. You know, try to get people on your bandwagon. But until then, just sit with it.
that is being ignorant, and because of that, Seth is being ignorant here. When WWE was booming from 2022 through 2024, there was nothing but praise from the wrestling community, and you never saw a wrestler come out and say, hey, we don't want that praise. But then 2025 happened, and it's been objectively bad compared to the last few years, and because of that, more and more people have been vocal about it, and now it seems like it's a problem to have an opinion. That is running away from the truth, and that is not the right thing to do. And don't just take it from me. Just listen to what Bret Hart said about the current WWE products.
I'll be honest, I have a hard time watching today's wrestling. I just can't really watch it. It's too fake for me. I love watching the old 90s wrestling. I really do. Like when I watch my matches back, or just in almost any match, even obscure Stampede wrestling matches. There's something about the realism, the punches and the kicks, and even just the way the presentation is. It just seems to me to be more onus put on the workmanship of learning the craft of being wrestlers. I think that today's wrestlers are actors. Most of them are actors pretending to be wrestlers. And they don't actually know how to wrestle, and they don't even know what a headlock is. Like everything is a high spot. Everything is high spot.
I'm not gonna lie. Part of this seems legit, but part of this just makes me feel like he's just an old guy hating on the younger generation. You know what I'm saying? Now I understand for him to say like everything's high spots, everything's, you might just be seeing the result of a more athletic cast of wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. This is one of the biggest technicians. You see somebody that's interested in actually wrestling, he's going to be one of them. This guy's going to be one of them. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, like, for you to be dragging them that much, I don't know. I don't think it may be that warranted.
Like, I want to get my move in. It's like, I don't know, I always thought wrestling needed to actually pretend to be wrestling. And I miss the wrestling aspect and the psychology.
This is a hot take I agree with. Like I said, wrestling is not as great as it once was. Bret Hart is a legend in this business, and even he is noticing wrestlers are focusing too much on Canadian destroyers and leg slaps more than the tiny details that add realism to the matches, like a punch or just logical selling. Before they focus on those hyper choreographed moves, they should perfect the little details, because without those, the matches do not look that real, and it instantly breaks the illusion. Anyways, those are some of the hot takes in the wrestling world from this week. Let me know your thoughts on them. Leave your hot take.
I
Please
really
leave
appreciate this video. Freaking banger of a vid. But I'm gonna just go on and say that obviously this hasn't been the most satisfactory year of wrestling, but this definitely has things that we can like go on and build off of. This ain't the worst year ever. This ain't like an irrecoverable year of content and storylines and stuff like that. In no way, shape, or form is it like that. But we don't need this to be a trend, considering the fact that this is also the same year that, you know, all of these things are getting put into fruition, like the freaking Netflix deal and all this other type of stuff. This wasn't the year to do it. This wasn't the year for all these things to happen and fall flat like they did. But let me know what you guys have as far as opinions and what you guys think about this year in general. Be free to, let me know in the comments. Like the video if you made it this far, and subscribe for more videos like this. All right. Love y'all, and I'll catch y'all in the next vid.